Got a Tucson here. Kind of bumpy in the box. Tells me it's thick. Okay. This is another this or that. Oh, man. Wow, look at this thing. I'm not a big anodized fan, but I couldn't pass this up. Just that green, fat carbon going with the gold and the purples and the reds. I had to get it, y'all. I just had to. So unique. The one that I have has some plain, I think plain carbon fiber, maybe some odd different carbon fiber in there, and then it's non-anodized. And so you'd think that would be for me. But man, I took one look at this in a zoomed up photo and I said, "Oh, I got to get that." That is just it's just beautiful and I love the green. Yeah. I mean, let's check it in. There's another video on the channel of the exact same knife. I'm sure of it. I'm going to get rid of that oily bag. Non-anodized. And I think the carbon fiber is a little bit different on it. So I'm not going to tarry too long on this. If you want to see a long, detailed version on this knife, find the other video. Yeah, it's good action. I wonder if we're safe on the blade. I can touch. It does have blade contact. The very back corner of that blade is exposed, and the tip is recessed. Man, look at this gold anodizing with the little flecks of purple showing through there. Nice spidey flick, thumb flick, and it's got a back flipper with super sharp jimping on it. It's not running super great. Let's look at this lockup, and then we'll take it apart. Looks like the sharp edge is just on the inside of that frame right there. Let's take it apart. I think they missed an opportunity here with the collars. I mean, this may be a knife that I've got some like purple anodized collars on another knife that maybe I snipe them off because that I don't know, is purple too much? Would that be over? Ooh, is that Loctited? Wow. I better get the nut buster and possibly the wrench. Let's see. Oh, wow. Yeah. No fooling. That was tight. I think we're going to find some of that white Loctite on them threads because that was on lockdown. Yeah, there's some out on the end. And it's just the tiniest little bit, like the last two threads. But man, was it locked. Hey, y'all, stop using that Loctite because, man, that stuff, whew, it's a little overkill for a pocket knife. Just saying. Where's that lockup now? So when it's locked up, it's this where it's at, not locked. That's where it locks. So yeah, there's really not a lot of room for me to do anything there, so I'm not going to bother. The knife runs well. It's a little stiff, but it's running just fine. Nice big fat stop pin recessed into the titanium scales. We've got some oil in places that we don't want oil. So I'm going to get that out. I want to get this off. The pivot turned a little bit in that locked in position. And so it's locked in there. I'm going to leave it be. Versus knock that out of there and then possibly create some kind of wiggle or something in it. So I don't want to do that. All right. A little bit of towel time. Tim's towel time. Not tool time. Tim's towel time. Oh, that green. Man, that looks good. I'll tell you, I need to go find the other one because I don't know where it's at. I feel like I've misplaced the other version of this knife. I thought maybe I had put it up for sale, but I don't see it anywhere. Oh, and that comes out. I'm glad I found that because there was full of oil back there. You know, because the question is, so I did one recently similar to this. It just kind of had the upgraded version of it. That wasn't anodized. I can't think of the model number. I'm going to have to take this pocket clip off. Let me check the tension on that. Oh, it's got good tension, so I don't think I'm not gonna tune that up at all. I'm just gonna take it off so that I can get this carbon fiber off and then wipe that oil from behind it, because yeah, is it oily. But I did one recently that wasn't anodized, and I have the anodized one. And so it was kind of a this or that video like this one. Like, which one am I going to keep? I'm going to keep one, get rid of one. And I like the knife so much, I decided to keep them both. I know, man. Like, the discipline is lacking, man, in my camp. So I don't know. I need to be inspired somehow to do the right thing. And, usually that kind of motivation comes through pain, right? Punishment, I don't know, low crawling through the pit or something is enough, motivation. You don't got to do like bunk adapters or, a bunk party, but sometimes you need to get some motivation to do the right thing. And the right thing for me is I can't be hoarding these knives, man. I find myself in a financial burden, financial crisis. I am going to put just the tiniest little tweak on this pocket clip. I got it out. It's in my hand. Why not? And then part of this video, I am going to really go do a search. I'm going to pause and go do a search and see if I can't find that other one. Because it would be nice to put it in this video, and then I can really make a decision. Man, wonderful tolerance on this carbon fiber inlay. Like no gap in the seam at all. It's a little thing, but I mean, they do it right, man. It's easy to criticize Tucson, man. I mean, there's some blade exposure, there's some stuff, but clearly from a design perspective, they're not considering it, because I mean, they're precise enough that if they made a decision to not have blade contact, they wouldn't have it. I'm not saying that they choose to have it. It's just clearly not a priority for them to not have it. Now, will they wake up to it at some point? Man, I hope so. I have seen some knives recently that have full back spacers, and, I always think, well, maybe they're listening somehow. But then I get another knife, a new model, and it's got blade exposure, which doesn't mean much because, what's the time frame from, working with a designer, them submitting a design, some back and forth maybe, and then ultimately go into production, and then it shows up in the marketplace. What's that timeline like? So a knife that I'm saying's got blade exposure, I don't know. It could have started its path a year ago. I mean, what do I know? So, yeah, I mean, I would like to get past that, though. Finding, like, blade contact on this piece, it's just one of those things. It's like, man, when the blade's closed, we shouldn't be able to touch sharp parts. End of story. Non-negotiable. There's no reason for it ever. And if we can, then we're wrong. Something's not right. But disclaimer, even with the blade contact, man, some of my favorite Tucsons have blade contact. I mean, it just is what it is. It's not enough for me to make me not like the knife or the brand or either or both. Let me check that action. I didn't really change it. Not completely tight. There we go. I think I'm over tight now. It felt over tight. Yeah. Woo! Nice. One screw recessed into carbon fiber. It's not a super fan. It does have four straight lines. And so as long as the screw stays tight, this should stay locked in there and not waller its way out. But if that screw comes loose, and I'm going to illustrate right here. So when I'm flicking this knife, I'm putting lateral pressure on this pocket clip. I'm pulling up, I'm pushing down. Well, if that screw gets loose, that pocket clip can move in that carbon fiber and waller out that hole. Well, once it does, there's no way to get it back, right? Ooh, that clip's going to be nice now. So it's not optimum, but at least it's got four straight lines and it's fit tight in there. So as long as that screw stays tight. So what's the message? Well, the message is if you have a knife like this, and you feel that clip loose, I don't go checking for it, but if I feel the clip loose at all, honestly, on any knife, if I feel a loose clip, I'm immediately going to tighten it. Look at the millwork on that clip and the scales. It's got this wonderful millwork. And I don't know if my other version has that or if it's just plain titanium. Oh, this action now. Yeah, man. That fuller works really well. And then this back flipper, I don't know. Let me try to fail it now. Yeah, no chance. It's got a wonderful crisp detent. When it breaks, it's going. Drop shut action. Yeah, this thing. Ergonomics. So it's a little short. This knife just feels like it's, man, if it had a quarter of an inch more. But I can get four fingers on it. The finger guard, not so confident, very confident, creates a confident grip headed towards very confident. I am very locked in here. Wonderful grip. It's got a great reverse grip. This grip here, man, is that good. And then I can get here, but it's not optimum. This is digging into my hand, so not so much. Can choke up on this knife too. It's got a nice little finger choil there, so if you wanted to choke up. But I'm not a fan. I'd rather just had the blade and, honestly, I think I've said this about this knife. Just move this forward to right there. Just move it forward and give me a little extra grip in my hand, and it would have transformed this knife. But I don't like spend a lot of time talking about, what I think or, how it should have been or how it could be better. Because it is what it is. The knife's in production. It ain't going to change. So, I don't know. It just seems spilt milk. It's like, well, what do we have and what are its attributes? Because saying, well, it'd be better if it's not going to be better. They're not going to move it up there. So, I don't know. It just doesn't make a lot of sense for me to pick apart the design. What I'd rather do is focus on the good points of the knife, what's good about it. And then if something is glaringly off, like let's say that this grip was terrible, but this one was awesome. Well, I would say that. Say, well, they sacrificed this grip to get this grip, and I'm not a fan. Now, if you dig this is solid. You can go here. I don't like how close it is to the blade right there. Ooh, look at the gap. I mean, it's less than a millimeter, and I'm pulling my finger back. You know what I mean? But this is a good grip on this knife. This is solid. This knife is smooth because in order to get these colors, they polish that down. So this is a great break point for me to go find the other one. Well, I take that back. Let's run the pocket clip. We'll finish up focusing on this one. Thick stuff, yeah, run good. Actually ran out of space in there, but it's locked in. Yeah, that's way in there. Standard jean size material, perfect. And what a cool look. I mean, it could use some tension. I mean, I think it's okay. It's got a lot of tension. It's just polished against polished, and so it'll move in there. Could I sand the clip this way on just a contact patch? Would it help? Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely could. I could sand that, scuff it up a little bit, maybe with a file sideways, and put some grooves on that, and it would help the retention on this. But it's okay. It's just not great. Yeah, I mean, it's not blossoming my roses for sure. Definitely locked up, super solid. I do have blade contact through the scales. The tip is good. The clip is okay. What about sharpness? That it's M390. I'm sure it is. Yeah, M390 steel. I think I need a piece of paper. I didn't see one up there. That's okay. There we go. Oh, there it is. It was underneath it for some reason. It's definitely dual grind. For a minute, I was going to say it's one tall flat grind across there, but there's a break point. This is ground differently here. Almost seemed like there was some polishing rouge there. They polished this and satined it up. But let's check both those grinds. Yeah, pretty sharp. Here's the other grind. Basically just pushing it through that foam book paper. The thin stuff, yeah. Crazy sharp. Crazy. All right, I'm going to grab that other one, and then we'll price and availability these. How about that? Wow. Man, is this thing. One more look. Come on. All by itself. The gold, the green, the black. Man, I'm digging it. All right. Let's get the other one. Okay. I found it. And it does have the milling. And it's way more prominent than it is on the polished version. Yep. And there's a video on this one. It's got, I don't know, it's got some kind of fat carbon, I guess. It's got some gold flecks in it. Yeah, very snappy. I don't think I could fail this one either. Yeah, no. And nice spidey flick, thumb flick. Ergonomics are solid. I mean, you could feel this polished one, that's for sure, man. This, the milling on this one is really nice. For some reason, this one feels better in my hand. It does. It feels more locked in. I wonder if I got blade contact on this one. Yeah, same spot. Just that very edge of that blade. What about the tip? Nope. Yeah, so, and is this one M390? Yeah, this one's M390 as well. So the only thing really different is the anodizing and then that fat carbon. Yeah. Ooh, is that nice? And it's slick. Yeah, that one's slick too. All right, well, price and availability. How much, and can you even get these right now? Because, that's the thing with Tucson's, man. Like, they'll sell these on eBay, and then they're gone. And you can't find them nowhere except the secondary market. And so even though it's a fairly new knife with being the TS508 and we're currently in the 500s, this may not be available in either version, but I'm going to check and I'll let you know. All right. Well, back in the day when these were available, these looked to be around 130 and these were more. I see one of these at the time of this video. There's one of these available through the secondary market, and they're wanting 210 for it. And I mean, it's a stunner though, and if it's unavailable, I mean, so what's this one worth then? Because this one's ridiculous. So cool. And it's like, well, how do I have it? Well, because I have boxes of these sitting around. I may have, oh gosh, I'm not even going to tell you a number because it's ridiculous. But I have a lot of these, and this was one that was sitting in a box that's been around here for months. And I just haven't gotten to it. And so now I'm getting to it. I have others, but way cool. So the question is, I'm going to wrap up this video. It's not crazy long. I mean, it's my standard 20 minutes, right? I mean, if you're going to watch one of my videos, I mean, take 20 minutes, smoke them if you got them, or don't, because I have COPD and I'm sure it's from smoking, so don't do that. It's bad, man. Bad for you anyways. There's my public service announcement. Or you know what? Smoke them if you got them, Johnny. Smoke up. I mean, you're only going to live once, and to be honest, like a big rock could fall on your head today. And so why not be happy, right? And who am I? And honestly, what do I care? I smoke. Smoke, drink, fornicate, live life, be happy, man. Or repent and try to be better. Either way is good. It's all good, right? The question at hand, before I lose my mind, oh, I'm so stupid, man. The question, is there, I'm just having fun now. Is there a question in the middle of all this, man? Just, oh, bro, shut up. The question. I haven't been drinking. I swear I haven't. I ain't smoked nothing neither. The question is, I'm just naturally happy, man. Listen, you live a whole life unhappy and fretful, and at some point, man, when you find happiness, it's fun to be happy, right? So the question is, am I going to sell one of these or am I going to keep them both? Did I say both? Or both? How about it? I'll be honest, man. I think I'm going to keep them both because I'm sick and I hoard these Tucsons, man. I just dig them. I am smelling like a roach. No, that's not what I wasn't going to say that. I am seriously considering putting that collection up for sale. It's the end of the year, so I have some top 10 videos that I really want to do before the end of the year, but I'm not conventional, man. I may not do them. And I know y'all would love to see my top 10 picks of the year, maybe my top 10 budget knives that I've touched this year. Without a doubt, I get asked all the time, which are my favorite Tucsons. And it's not that simple. When there's over 400 of these, I can't just say, well, here's the 10 I like the most. It's impossible. What I have to do is break it down into categories, like, my top 10 budget Tucsons, my top 10 high-end Tucsons, maybe my top 10 compact Tucsons, my top 10, factory customs, because I would consider this a factory custom. They're anodizing it, and they've upgraded the carbon fiber from the initial. I don't know. I got a case here for liking this one. This one's grippier. This one feels better in the hand to me because it's not super slick. This one feels super slick, but then again, I mean, my eyes are attracted to this one. Same blade steel. Yeah. I mean, other than that, they're same knife. Identical except for the carbon fiber and the anodizing. But I don't know. Did I milk this for another 4 minutes? I did. Hey, I appreciate y'all watching, and I think they're both just going to go in a case for now. I don't have to decide, so I'm not going to. If I had to decide, let's go there. If I had to pick one of these, I'll give you that. Like, it's not a top 10, but if I had to pick one of these two, which one would I keep? Oh, why did I even go here? Because such a tough question, man. Because I have reasons to keep either one of these. In the end, I would keep this one just because it's so much eye candy. Yeah, it's just so cool. Even in the pocket, what was exposed from the pocket clip is just so nice. Yeah, I mean, I could strip this one, put this pocket clip on this one, this green carbon fiber, and this carbon fiber would be just fine over here, but this pocket clip would look hideous here. It wouldn't look right at all. Which, if I'm not going to do that. I don't strip these and change them up. They came to me the way they came to me from the factory, and so that's the way I keep them. I do have a few early models where I polished the blade. I dyed some scales on a couple, just a very few of these Tucsons. Almost all of the hundreds of these that I have are factory condition like these two. All right, y'all. Now I'm done. I appreciate y'all watching. Hopefully it wasn't too ridiculous, man. I'm so dumb.